The Champions League is back, and let's have a little discussion, just a very short one, about the game that is coming up this midweek between Sporting CP and Arsenal. I'll be honest with you, when we confirmed this fixture about 3 weeks ago, when I checked the 4 games we had in the Champions League, you would see games like Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. You see Liverpool and PSG. You see Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Then you see Sporting CP and Arsenal. Immediately I saw the games, I told myself that, oh, this Arsenal game is surely a game I'm not going to watch. I saw it as the least rated game out of all the 4 games, because for each of the games, despite the fact that Liverpool is in a very poor situation right now, you know that game between Liverpool and PSG is going to be very interesting. These are 2 big teams going head to head. No disrespect to Sporting CP, but based on what you've seen from Arsenal this season, you would count this as a very easy run for Arsenal. And that's the same sentiment everybody had in football. Yes, we know upset happens. We know that there can be a David and Goliath story. But we all knew. We knew that Arsenal are the heavy favorites for this game. But here I am talking about it because something changed. In fact, a couple of things has changed within the last 3 weeks. So what changed? Before going into the international break, before Arsenal played their last game before international break, they were in 4 competitions. They were in a very good spot in 4 competitions, and they were in line to win a quadruple. Now listen very carefully. They had 9 points advantage in the Premier League. They were in the Champions League with a very favorable run. They were in the Carabao Cup final, and they were in FA Cup. Within the last 2 games, things have changed massively. First of all, they fell out of the Carabao Cup by failing in the final. This is a Carabao Cup final. Their opportunity to get their first trophy of the season, and their first trophy in so many years. They played against an injured Manchester City, a Manchester City that has suffered massive defeats. They played against them and they lost. So from mentioning quadruple, we now shifted focus to treble. I mean, I'm not the one saying it. Arsenal fans and a couple of people were saying, I think we need to pay attention to this. But from quadruple to treble, and what happened? We came back from international break. They played their first game after the international break, which was a game last weekend against Southampton in the FA Cup. You know what happened? It was a very poor performance. It was a very unfavorable result. So within the space of 2 games, Arsenal have crashed down from being favorites or having a high chance of winning the quadruple to having only 2 competitions to fight for. Now, because of what we've seen in the last 2 games, I'm interested in this game they have against Sporting CP. I am very interested because I know Sporting CP must have been watching them last weekend to see how they will perform. And they saw it. They saw that Arsenal, they are beatable. They are beatable. And that is why I am looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to see how the game between Sporting CP and Arsenal will be. And I will be there. Of course, I will be there to watch the game. I will watch the game tomorrow, which is basically, by the time you are watching this or by the time this will go live, it should be like 24 hours interval before the game. And I want to know if I'm the only one that is thinking about this. Am I the only one that think something could go wrong in this game? See, whatever happens, if Arsenal end up messing this up, I'm going to be the happiest person in the world. Nonetheless, I'm not going to put all my hope in Sporting CP's chance of winning this. But the fact that Arsenal have lost for the very first time this season back-to-back games makes this a very interesting game to look forward to. Remember, despite the fact that Arsenal are heavy favorites. When it comes to the Champions League, you just can't write anybody off. So that's where I'm going to leave it for you guys on this one. What do you predict? What is your score prediction? Does Sporting CP have any chance here? Do you see any chance of an upset here? And if you don't see a chance of an upset, are you confident that Arsenal would easily get a win here? That's it on this one. Like I said, it's going to be a very short video. See you on the next one.